watching the Sports and Political channel of LB. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Let's get down to business. So in this particular video, we're going to talk about Kevin Porter Jr. and that he's coming off a season where he averaged over 15 a game, and his last 5 games, he put up some gaudy numbers to close out the season. And the question is, because while the Houston Rockets are not expected to compete in the Western Conference next year, but if they are going to shock the system and throw a wrench into the discourse within the NBA, I believe that Kevin Porter Jr. has to be the reason why. But let's take a trip down memory lane before we make predictions and things of that nature. So back in 2019, he was the 30th overall pick, and he was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks. That same night in 2019, he was traded along with Tony Snell to the Detroit Pistons for John Lure. A week later, he was traded by the Detroit Pistons to the Cleveland Cavaliers for cash, a 2020 second-round pick. A guy by the name of Justinian Jessup was later selected. Well, he's probably not in the NBA now. 2021 second-round pick, Brandon Boston Jr. was later selected. A 2023 second-round pick and a 2024 second-round pick. Pick is Utah's 2020 second-round pick. And the pick, second round, another one is Portland would own. The pick also was for 2024 was Miami's, which is a top 55 protected pick, which basically means if the pick falls within the top 55, then Miami keeps the pick. If not, that pick will go to the Detroit Pistons and $5 million. Right now, July 3rd, which is like a week later, he signed a multi-year contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, he averaged about 23 minutes for the Cleveland Cavaliers for the most part. There was an incident on the Cleveland Cavaliers with the locker room, and after that his time with the Cleveland Cavaliers was done, and he was traded to the Houston Rockets for a 2024 second-round pick, and that pick is what Golden State owns, and they've received a trade exception, right? They sent him down to the G League, the Rockets did, for a couple months, recalled him back from the G League, and then back in 2022, or earlier this year, if you remember this incident regarding the game against the Denver Nuggets, where they were getting blown out at halftime, and John Lucas called them out, and Kevin Porter Jr. along with Christian Wood took exception to the fact that John Lucas was calling them out for their poor play and their attitudes or whatever like that. So Kevin Porter Jr. decided to take his ball and go home, literally. And he was suspended the game for that. But saying all that, he has to take the next step in his maturity level. He is like the de facto leader of the team. He is the guy that's going to have the ball in his hands most of the time. Him along with Jalen Green. That's a nice, low, young, dynamic duo backcourt that they have. Christian Wood's not there anymore. Christian Wood's with the Dallas Mavericks. But they do have another guy by the name of Alfred Sengun. they really like his upside, and that would make, in my opinion, Christian Wood expendable. But he has to. So being a guy that coming off a season that he averaged coming off his career average season, because for his career he only averaged 13 points a game. But I think a lot of that has to do with him being in Cleveland. But coming off a year, he averaged 15 a game. That has to be at least 20 a game now. At least 20 to 25 points a game. If the Rockets really want to, shock the system and make some noise, I really do believe that 50 in the game has to be at least 20 to 25 points a game. What's up, Will Hunter? Salute to you. Also, his free throw percentage, because last year he only shot 64% from the free throw line. That's not good. So obviously that's going to have to improve. He's a career 68% shooter from the line. What's up, Will Hunter? We talk about Kevin Porter Jr. If you're going to be the primary ball handler, that free throw percentage you got to be at least 80 to 85% at the very least. You cannot shoot 64% from the free throw line. So obviously, if he's shooting a better free throw percentage, then that should drive up his points per game. Salute to you, Josh Johnson, in the building. Appreciate you for being up in here. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna share my screen with everybody. We're gonna break down this profile with Kevin Porter Jr. because I really do believe if the Houston Rockets are going to take that next step, he's gonna have to be the reason why. He's going to have to be that reason why they take the next step. Granted, they got other players that can help them out, along with guys like Jayshawn Tate and Alfred Sengun and Jalen Green and Josh Christopher. Another guy I really like. That's pretty much going to be the core of that team, if you ask me. Eric Gordon. I think Eric Gordon's going to get traded. He's the most. He's had been the longest on there with 14 years. He's going to get traded. They're gonna, he's going, have his impact on the court and stuff like that. But he's going to want to go to a contender, and I think he's going to be a goner sooner rather than later. But he's not going to finish the season as a Rocket. All right, so this pretty much, his profile, right? Kevin Porter Jr. Looking at his raw numbers, look at that. So he's playing good minutes. Shooting the ball 42% from the field. Only shooting 35% from three. So needless to say, these numbers are going to have to be improved. He only averaged 45% from the field. Only averages 6.2 assists. You would think that number would have to be at least between 8 and 9 assists. But to me, the biggest drastic improvement going to have to be that free throw percentage, man. 64% is not good enough. That's not good enough. If you're going to be the primary ball handler, if you're going to be the guy that's going to be going to the paint, because the guy can't drive to the bucket. He can't finish with the best of them, in my opinion. But you're going to be drawing fouls. You'll be going to the line. So you gotta make your free throws, man. I'm sorry. That just 64% from the line is inexcusable for a primary ball handler. It's inexcusable for a primary ball handler to only shoot 64% from the line. So obviously that's going to have to improve. His assist number is going to have to improve. You want to see this number between 8 and 9 for a primary ball handler. And they might have a young team, but they're not devoid of talent. They have talent. They have talent. Jayshawn Tate, Alfred Sengun, Josh Christopher, Jalen Green, another guy. Whenever Kevin Porter Jr. is out, he can take over primary ball handling duties. So they're not devoid of talent. Now, I did preface in the beginning of the video by saying that the Houston Rockets are not expected to contend in the Western Conference. They're not. But if they're going to shock the system, in my opinion, Kevin Porter Jr. has to be the reason why. He's not there and Christian Wood's not there anymore. He's with the Dallas Mavericks. You say thoughts on Kevin Salas? I think he's a good coach. I think Kevin Salas is a good coach, and but it's going to take some time. This is a team that is trying to build chemistry, and they're trying to build continuity. So they're gonna have some growing pains, but I think this is a team that's headed in the right direction, provided that they just stay the course. But I like Kevin Salas. He's good. I mean, not Kevin Salas. I'm sorry. What do you mean Kevin Salas? You mean Steven Salas? That's his name. God damn. My brains ain't about me. I'm sorry. It's Steven Salas. It's not Kevin Salas. It's Steven Salas. Shit. And then unlike last year when Steven Silas came in as a rookie coach and he had all that drama with James Harden or what have you, he won't have that this year. He won't have no trade rumors of a superstar player booming over his head. So it's all good, bro. It's all good. But so I think the projected starting lineup is going to be Alfred Sengun, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Jayshawn Tate, and the last person I think that's going to be in the starting lineup is maybe like a Sterling Brown. They did bring in Trey Burke, but I don't believe Trey Burke is going to see run like that. They still got Kenyon Martin Jr. They got Marquise Chris, but Marquise Chris' career has been pretty much a massive disappointment, if you ask me. They got Boban, but Boban might come in for low stretches, but you can't see him playing a full lot of minutes. So pretty much that. Oh no, I take that back. I'm pretty sure Eric Gordon cracked the starting lineup too, but he's not gonna, like I say, he's not gonna finish the season as a Rocket. And I don't know why even they holding on to him anyway. Why is the Houston Rockets holding on to Eric Gordon? What's up, Divine Unity? Salute to you. If they're really trying to go young, why is they holding on to dang on Eric Gordon? They should him. Let him go to a contender. You know, you can't have Eric Gordon rotting away on the Houston Rockets, man. I want to do another video about that. I'm like, what is their deal with holding on to Eric Gordon? But anyway. But yeah, Kevin Porter Jr., I think he's going to have a really good season next year. I think the Houston Rockets, being as young as they are, energetic, this is going to be a fast-paced team. I believe they'll probably be one of the fastest-paced teams in the NBA, given their youth and their athleticism. And they have a lot of upside. I think Kevin Porter Jr. will be the reason why this team shocks a lot of people. Now, like I say again, I do not expect the Houston Rockets to compete in the Western Conference. I mean, you still got Golden State coming off their championship. You still got Phoenix, who's trying to right the wrongs of yesterday getting blown out at home in that Game 7 in the semis. Dallas Mavericks, was that run to the Western Conference Finals a fluke, or is there something greater there, right? The Lakers trying to redeem themselves from a massively disappointing season that they had. Timberwolves trying to build off of what they did last season, even though they gutted their whole team for Rudy Gobert. So the Utah Jazz, where they're going to be at, considering that they got a new coach and what have you. Are they going to trade Donovan Mitchell or are they not going to trade Donovan Mitchell? The Clippers, with Kawhi coming back, you got to think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the West. Some of them even have the Clippers being the Western Conference favorite. The Denver Nuggets, you got them. You know, with the Joker coming off 2 MVP seasons or what have you, they're going to be a playoff team. So, I don't know. And then you got the Sacramento Kings with Mike Brown. I don't know. They might, you know what? Even though they're not expected to compete in the Western Conference and what have you, but something back in my head telling me this could be a team to watch. I'm not saying they're gonna make the playoffs. I'm not really necessarily saying that. But what I am saying is this is a team that you might want to watch. Now you heard it here first. You heard it no other place but here on this channel. So save this video September 1st, 2022. Right? What's up, Yusuf? Nice salute to you. I think this team can really, if anything, they can push for a play-in game. If anything, San Antonio, I really don't expect San Antonio to compete. I don't expect who else? Utah Jazz might be in that play-in situation. I really don't expect them to do too much. Let me see. Who else? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think this team might actually push for at least a play-in game. Now Shout out to Arquise Ross for his donation through the Cash App. Portland ain't gonna really do. I don't expect Portland to do nothing. Memphis gonna be in it. Denver gonna be in it. Dallas, whether or not that was a fluke. Hold on. I'm all over the place. I don't expect OKC to do nothing. Don't expect Portland to do nothing. I don't expect the Spurs to do nothing. You know what? I take that back. There's just way too many teams, man. I don't think Houston Rockets gonna get up in there, bro. I don't. Sorry. Nope. There's just too many teams in the Western Conference, bro. The Pelicans, with Zion coming back, and then you got Brandon Ingram along with what's his face, CJ McCollum. I don't see Houston up in there. Nope. Now they're gonna surprise some people, yeah, but I don't. They're not gonna be up in there, bro. No. No way that's gonna happen. So that's why I'm at on that. But yeah, but if they're gonna do anything, it has to be Kevin Porter Jr. He cannot average 15 points a game. He cannot. You got to average at least 20, at least 25. I give him that. If the last 5 games of the season serve as any indication of what he can do this year, right? Because if we go to this game, right? Let's go to the splits. Well, not splits, game log. Let's go to this game log from last year, right? If the last 5 games serves any indication, right? Then he even had a 30-point game against Sacramento on the 30th of March. So even let's go back even 7 games. So these last 7 games serve as any indication: 26, 30, 27, 21, 36, 35, 26. See, this is the kind of performances that Kevin Porter Jr. needs to have, right? And he had double at 12, triple double at that. Yeah, triple double that game. He had double this game, another double, right? So if you go back to these last 7 games, if that serves any indication, I think the Rockets gonna be okay. Now they're gonna have to have, these games, these close losses right here. When I see of course, this blowout loss right here, and you got another blowout loss here too. But these games where you lose it by 3, 5, and 7 and stuff like that, to me that just comes down to execution down the stretch on both sides of the ball, whether it be on the offensive end and or the defensive end. Whether it be someone missed an assignment, let somebody open for a wide open 3, somebody got caught sleeping on defense, or boy got taken off the dribble, and then to me the most lethal move in the game now is the step back. It is difficult to block a shot when the step back is not part of the discourse in the game of basketball. Or you drive and then you take the step back and go behind your take the ball, go behind your legs, break down the individual defenders that way, and then you get up a shot. So, I think this dude got immense talent. He's very talented, if you ask me. And him and Jalen Green makes a very dynamic backcourt. They can bring Josh Christopher off the bench. He's another guy that I like Houston Rockets. But yeah, they're a young team. And but yeah, that's where I'm at on that. You say thoughts on Elvin Hayes' jersey retirement? Long overdue. His jersey retirement is long overdue. Long overdue. So if you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share these videos on your social media platforms. And I will say this one more time. The Houston Rockets are not expected to compete in the West. But if they are going to compete in the West, it's going to be because of this guy, Kevin Porter Jr., and to a lesser extent, Jalen Green. Because they have a dynamic backcourt. So I'm gonna do more of these type of videos to we can break down these type of players and things of that nature. Because I want to do more than just look at the numbers, because numbers is only a part of the equation when it comes to evaluating these players. We got to look at their defensive tendencies, right? Do they like to gamble on defense? What is the coach's defensive philosophy, right? Because that plays a big part, because it's not just looking at somebody and just dealing them one-on-one, because yes, defense is effort. We know all that. But there's a team concept that's in play as well. Like, for example, the Milwaukee Bucks, they really like to pack the paint. Mike Budenholzer's defensive philosophy is, hey, we're going to pack the paint, we're going to limit the twos. But the downside of that, we know the NBA now, a lot of teams like to shoot the three. So that leaves uncontested, wide open 3-point shots. That's the downside of packing the paint to really stop, 2-point shot attempts and shit like that. So there's that. So there's a whole lot that just, yes, I want to get up on my man. Yes, I want to deny. And yes, I want to get my hands up to be able to deflect any kind of passes and things like that, right? Or just, get the occasional cookies every once in a while. So there's a defensive concept, what they like to do, all these other tendencies, and then on offense, right? Because remember, I did say he had to get his assist numbers up. Only averaged like low over 6 assists a game. I believe that number needs to be between 8 and 9. That means you got to get Alfred Sengun involved. Jay Sean Tate got to get his numbers up, right? Because Christian Wood's not there anymore. There's Jalen Green. Now, I think him and Jalen Green negatively correlate with each other, right? And what I mean by negatively correlate, which means if you got two ball dominant guys in Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr., right? More often than not, Jalen Green is going to create his own shot, which means that Kevin Porter Jr. is not going to get no assists from him. That's how the two negatively correlate. Now, with Alfred Sengun, on the other hand, if Kevin Porter Jr. has the ball in his hand, well, I know he's going to dump that ball off to Alfred Sengun, who's really talented. He is really talented. That's the dude y'all want to watch out for, Alfred Sengun. He can get the ball down the block, and he has an offensive arsenal that can get easy buckets and stuff like that. He also can shoot from the outside too. So that's what I mean by the positive and the negative correlation. That's all advanced analytics. When you dive deep into the whole NBA thing. But anyway, I thank y'all for watching. Please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe. I really do appreciate the support. I thank Arquise Ross again for the donation through the Cash App. Right? If you want to donate, there's the Cash App, there's the PayPal, and one thing I haven't done enough, but I will do more of, is thanking you guys, because without you guys subscribing to the channel, liking the video, you know, sharing it on your social media platforms and stuff like that, I would not be where I'm at right now. I would be just another dude on YouTube just yapping off at the mouth. So I appreciate it. This your man. Oh, last but definitely not least, shouts out to the Lions Den basketball community. This your man. Scream at me. Oh!